we'll see how G2 decides to approach that.
Okay, so Dinko, a man of many words, but not many right here. Who wins this game?
G2.
Okay, easy as that. G2 versus Big Nuke is the map.
Him, Trace.
Yeah, you actually sat here and convinced him live on air. It's not bad. Yo, let's get into the game. We got Chad and Alex to do it.
Oh, I'm glad you're having fun over there. Great to have Dinko on the desk, and of course Hawker, his partner in crime elsewhere, on one of those 3 simultaneous streams. Loving that, and good to have YNK in the ranks. So, Big Clan on our T side, G2 to receive them. Dinko's hedging his bets towards the G2 camp. And Nexa's working on this ramp hold. Yeah, that's enough for him. Nico's up to no good on the ladder. Tabson gets one between the shoulder blades. And now Nexa, though he has no armor, he has got headshots. A lot's happened here. Nico looks to be ascending already. Super Saiyan, knife kill, 2 swift headshots. And G2 are given this one on a silver platypus. Platypus?
Yeah, it's like a platypus.
Can I tell you what just happened there? My brain moves so fast. I was saying platter courtesy, and you got platypus.
Okay, well...
Courtesy of Nico.
The round is done. And look, that knife today, I would love to see how many kills in total we've had from that position in the vent with the knife today. Because if you guys were tuning into the CIS RMR earlier, there was 2 rounds in one of those games. I believe it was Entropic versus Na'Vi, many hours ago now. There were 2 rounds where there were 2 knife kills. Krad got a double and Electronic got a double. Double knife kills in a game. So
it's a very viable strategy. I remember Simple talking about it on his stream, like showing everyone how high you go up on the ladder, and he says it's easy, man.
He says about everything, doesn't he? But I'm curious to see how easy this is for G2. We know that they've had some troubles in recent times. Not for Nico, though. He's been an absolute monster. And Keto as well, 2 for him out the gates.
Yeah, and Hunter's actually fought fire with fire, aggression, to neutralize Keto. And they're coming back. It looks like Jax is, yeah, they're indicating they're going to actually completely rescind that lobby aggression. And Tizian will confirm that it is gone. Now, a man advantage for Big. That's all off of Keto's Deeg. Hitting some scorchers. Looks like we've got all the individuals awake, Chad.
This is good news for a good game here.
Yeah.
Jax is about to be under a lot of pressure here. Steps out, bomb drop, lots of information for him. And even the 3rd kill comes on through. So Sirison now with that scout. A very tall task here, but he was hitting some bangers with the AWP and the scout yesterday against Mouse Sports. He's not getting a frag right now, though. I've been to the future.
How dare you? Sirison is a snappy scout boy.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, watch this.
I'm watching.
And then... All right.
You see Harry's sound effects? All put the M4 sound.
Yeah, dude, it was good. It was
yeah, not a bad one. I don't know, your whip and what was the second one? Okay, yeah, I don't know where they would fit, but this was great from Keto here. 2 bangers, straight to the dome, but mopped on up.
I mean, it's ballsy, isn't it? I guess what happened there with G2's comms was action yard, let's take lobby. Keto just greets him with 2 50 caliber rounds between the eyes. You can see Legia behind them, worth filling you in. If you're unfamiliar with the Big Clan story, Dude has been pulling the strings for them in the coaching role up until recently. He's stepped back into a more analytical role and won't be attending the events with them. We have Legia back, the hype man, ex-player, of course, and close friend of Tabson, bringing them that extra little bit of juice when they desire and need. So they come in ramp. Nexa was playing it quite passive on the pistol. I wonder if he's going to stick around a little longer. I don't think so. Yeah, that's enough from him. Concedes. Amanek called upon. It's Jax, actually, that deals with it. No issues there. Only the one more. Keto Deagle has a little bit of a consolation prize. But there you have it, 3-0. All the hearts still beating. Minimal losses so far for G2, so they're going to be nurturing a really nice bank account.
Yeah, that's a nice place to be in right here. And it's curious to see with G2, right? Because in the last couple of events, things haven't been going well for 4 out of the 5 members. Nico, he's been showing that he's in the conversation for one of the world's best again, right? He's been having scorching hot form. And I don't expect that to stop here. But a couple of the pressure points for this team, right? Amanek has to be one. Yep. He's picked up the AWP in lieu of Kenny, and I feel like we're all past that conversation. So we get that he wields the AWP, but he doesn't wield it to necessarily a world-class level. There you go. That is what you're talking about. One onto Sirison, who is a primary AWPer that can. Yeah. It's a great opening. That's what you want from Amanek. This is what we're looking for.
I was speaking to Jax. I was speaking to Nexa in that media day and just asking about that AWP. His answers were just that there is no funny business. There's no Nico playing with it now. It is Amanek's through and through. You can see Nico doesn't need an AWP. His AUG seems to be pumping some good numbers, at least some damage into Keto. They are working their way across those smokes. Their timing has to be perfect here. And they have managed, just as they fade, to slink on down the secret stairs. A 4v5, Big Clan are down to the lower side of the map. And what's the G2 reaction? Have they cleared lobby yet? My brain is struggling to process this map.
No one B yet, right? So they've got this lobby control. They've even smoked off the entrance here, but nobody's home. So as they clear it on out, they need to start getting a little bit of a wriggle on.
He'll be there in time.
Careful now.
Woof.
He's hurt, definitely.
Yeah, very loud about that. And if he's the only one there, as soon as that glass breaks, he is going to be calling for backup. Here we go. Oh dear, Molotov down. What are you supposed to do? Just run into k1to's crosshair, and now that bomb plant gets a whole lot easier. Maybe Nico can cause enough chaos. That's a great incendiary. Just as their T-utility does deny that default plant. Tizian's in a good position to just catch those advancing CTs. Hunter unable to convert. It's Tabson with that Krieg.
Woof.
And issues now. The last two are half health coming in from ramp. Nexa and Nico may not be too interested in this one. And it's interesting to me just how, with the uncertainty of those yard smokes, you didn't know how many crossed, I understand that. But yeah, Amanek just hard committing, very late.
I'm trying to do some homework right now, so I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry, teacher. I've left it until the last minute, but I've already noticed a couple of things here on this G2 CT side that don't look normal for me. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm correct before I spout rubbish out of my mouth like I tend to do. I'm using one of my little...
You do it.
Little preppy toys here.
He is moving around like Rain Man right now.
I just really want to find out some... Oh, that's an aggressive rap. Because I'm thinking, when was the last time I saw G2 play Nuke? It was a long time ago, right? And it was during EPL. There was a loss to Fours. They lost to Fours over their 16-7 on this very map. And then before that was a loss to Na'Vi at IEM Cologne, 16-13, a close one. So I'm thinking, okay, well, have they tried to change some things up? Because to have a best of one against Big on this map, Big are no slouches on this map by any means.
Yeah, well, Searson's undeterred by that casualty from Amanek's AWP. Nico responsible for the cross, and just the one of the wall deployed. A late one now from Tabson. High flash. Nice gap established due to an incendiary, or just a straight miss. I didn't hear the incendiary. So rinse, repeat, or perhaps some garage control instead. Yeah, they're going to surge through that. We might see the run boost over the potential AWP line.
Lots of space here.
Yeah, they're kind of set up, I mean, certainly vulnerable to all this lobby info, but that's been given by Big Clan more times than we remember. Amanek late to this. They're already across. Oh, and actually Searson.
Nice line.
Perfect find. Just the tip of Nico's head. In a very passive setup from G2. Now Amanek's got a lot to do. And they can hit anything they want. They can go down lower. They can start probing into that main top side.
Oh, Amanek basically says, I don't want any info there with that because he feels under so much threat here, but it is towards his lower side. And just Nexa on the railing right now. Needs some backup and needs it now.
Stampeding, very loud. Door swings open, not clear in their corner. Gade will go down as well. Double from Nexa, nearly 3. It's k1to that keeps things competitive. And oh lord, this is a late one from heaven. Amanek aware.
Great awareness.
Yeah, really good. 15 seconds as the bomb does go down. Searson, prime position to catch them as they walk in. k1to draws fire. Jack's good for the first, and now Searson thrust into a 1v3. Multiple targets. And already Hunter down. With the reposition, Jack's going to have to bide his time for Amanek to arrive, and here comes Jax. This nice delivery from him. Good to see him at the top of the scoreboard as well. You said already, Nico's been in like that world-class form. You're going to need a couple more names alongside for the ride, and Hunter has been a little volatile.
It's a hard one, right? Because you think when you look at G2 in the ranks, Nico and Hunter should be the top 2.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I think is necessary for this team to be world-class. You just need contributions from Amanek being a safe pair of hands in the AWP. He doesn't need to be a game-changing AWPer. He just needs to have that presence and get the gimme-type kills. And that's when then Jax and Nexa can chip in with their impact here, there, and everywhere. But it is going to be now a question mark for Big going forward as they take a timeout here. Gade has 3.9. He was the lowest. They're just dropping the guns across to make this buy work. You can see their Searson will be equipped with the AWP once more. AK shouldn't be any dramas, and Gade will be the last to buy here. He needs to know what nades. What execute do we do on Boss Man? Can I go with the AK and just get that armor behind it, or do I need all the utils? So the Galil comes out. Tabson well, is able just to get that AK and the smoke for himself. The buy on the other side, a little bit strugglesome for Nexa, just down to an MP9. Nico's got that Krieg in his hands. Remember, the longest period of time, obviously 2 years ago, didn't want to use any of it. Eventually waned and bent the knee to the OP guns, and now he even uses it for fun. So here we go. Oh, we haven't seen this in a long time, Alex.
This is a retro Big Clan throwback. Looks like a bit of a cancel because Hunter's gone Aggie. Oh, Tizian deals with them. And just look at the corpses littering. There's so much aggression, and Amanek's not stopping there. Despite the loss of his compatriots, he's continued to advance and actually posted up on trophy. Big Clan hit pause, understandably. They've got a 2-man advantage. They really are suspecting that G2 will continue to force this issue. What do you reckon, Chad? 30 more seconds of this, or?
Look, there shouldn't be in any rush, really. The problem is they can't step a toe out of line towards ramp because Amanek will get a kill, and then that might throw this round into a very curious place. But if Sirison prods through Heart, that's the path of least resistance. So now that they're starting to make their move towards the top side, they should get in for free here. We can see Nico still very, very passive out towards that garage position. Top side open for business. And I'm actually thinking it should be a save call here. Amanek needs to find his way out of dodge. Just get on out. Allow Big to have this round. You need something to carry through to the next round to play. And an aggressive lobby maneuver falls very, very flat. I'm disappointed we didn't get to see the boost in play for all of our viewers at home. But that means Big still have that in their arsenal to pull out again in a future round. So that's twice now, and we have to look towards Keto here because he got another kill in this push, Tizian also contributing. But when they push lobby, Keto's done a great job. He did it with the Deagle, obviously within the earlier stages of this matchup, and now with the AK grabbing one as well. But yeah, interesting from G2. Now, we do have to go back in my time machine here to 2019 when this G2 roster, not this one, but the G2 roster that featured the French-Serbian mix, right, came together. There was obviously the language issues, and Nuke was one of the maps they played at that Malmo event. It was a DreamHack Masters in Malmo, and basically when they hit the big red button, it was they just pushed lobby because the communication was so lacking that this is a map that really requires it for rotations. They just started pushing. Here, they're doing it, and we know communication is no longer an issue. Jax is able to be up to scratch when they need him.
I mean, actually, yeah, it's a perfect example. Both teams actually having that player in the form of Jax speaking English, Gade speaking German. I spoke to him a little bit about that, and yeah, it does seem like in Tamsin's eyes, it's serviceable at a functioning professional level.
Wunderbar. They're in a power position right here, Big. They win this one. They're going to break that back of G2. Can't keep saving, and we don't get the funky roof boost to see up towards the heaven position. But it is a slower pace. No lobby aggression this time. They're going to stick to their guns. They're going to hold back in a pretty standard formation. Amanek over towards ramp with that AWP. Nico back in his roost deep over towards that warehouse position with the Krieg. And the rest of them have been able to get silenced M4s and a Famas in the mix. Big util advantage for Big right now, so they can take their time. Squeaky blown off. Hunter has to respect that. Drops out his smoke, buys them a buffer of 20 seconds. Tries to find some shrapnel damage, but that nade is shy.
Good awareness from Hunter as well. He heard that. HE readjusted for the smoke. Not going to get caught out by any gimmicks now.
Look at all the nades left here.
Oodles, I was about to say the same thing.
They can just do one of these top explodes, right? And a long time ago, again, we've highlighted with Big, they have these interesting top executes. They have that molly that actually bleeds on through over towards that top rafter. Top half molly, flashes in. It's just a double pump situation. I don't think they're committing off this.
Yeah, they're going squeaky side.
Down the vent.
Oh my god, they're going B. Oh, that is cheeky.
They have snakes and ladders.
No resistance at all. Tamsin coming just at the right time. He's been loud about it. Next up should have it, and does. Amanek responsible for the cross. The bomb's already going down, though, and it's up to Tizian whether or not he wants to feed that frag to Amanek. No reason to. High flash so that his teammate can potentially take that fight. He's out. And there is a man advantage for G2. I suspect they're going to want to have a look in here. Kits and smokes are plenty. Bomb ticking. Every second that passes favors Tizian and the boys. Here comes some CT util.
Over halfway tick, though, Alex. What's going on here?
Yeah, and already Tizian lining up a frag. Nico responds. Gade in dark looking for his first. He's found it. There's just no time. It's over. Yeah, great shot. That's another for Big Clan. They will take every weapon out of the equation. But a third found from Big, and it's top util, and then a whole team down the vent.
Yeah, I said snakes and ladders. It should be fakes and ladders, right? That was pretty nice from them. They're just able to use their utility here to make sure that there's no prying eyes as they go down towards that lower site. But then what's going on with G2, right? What's the holdup? What's the wait? I didn't see where the hesitance was. Did nobody want to initiate a fight right there?
Or, yeah, I don't know, maybe going down the vents, there's still a bit of a wound from that double Krieg kill from Tabson in the first gun round.
Okay, well, that's 2 in a row right now, and a third. Look, the saved guns give G2 an opportunity here to at least remain threatening. But Amanek, ooh, up and over the top here, sticking out like a sore thumb. Luckily, look at this pace from Big. Like yesterday, when we had their Mirage game, their CT side. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that, I mean, bit unfortunate for Jax. A dink. Tamsin controls the spray of the Krieg.
Yoink.
Nico has recovered the weapon, so Amanek still, prime position, then he has caught Tabson. Nico over the smokes, turns the flash, really good angle, but he struggled and Gade, good eyes. Catches him just over the edge of that smoke. It's only Amanek's AWP, but he's making no secret as to where it's located, firing off some pot shots, just hoping they will connect. Big Clan again descend, practically scot-free. And they'll be loud about this. Look at this, just leaping around the corners. They know G2 are late on this. Nexus only just now.
USB as well.
Oh, dear.
What's he going to do here? Really nothing for Nexa. He'd have to hit some absolute blinders, or Amanek would have to contribute. The dink is in. One is good, but not enough. It is just going to be Hunter on this CZ75, and 36 seconds on the clock. Position noted. Would need something miraculous here.
Yeah, I don't see a world. Oh, he's got his knife out as well. Booked. Gito gets himself a pistol upgrade. Big Clan get themselves a very nice return. From the 3-0 start of G2, they find themselves head above water, very comfortable, if anything, in control at this 8-round mark.
Yeah, I'd like to see a timeout from G2, and it just called. And the reason I say that is because if you look at that money situation left-hand side of your screen right now, we're looking at everybody around that 4.5 mark, nobody over the 5K mark. So there's going to be some issues with the buy. And we've already seen them go for lobby aggression plays, right? Normally, when you don't have a lot of utility, maybe you don't have the AWP, you don't want to play this slow-paced game that Big are playing, you go aggressive. But you've already tried that. You've been dealt a dud hand doing that. So this timeout important because the buy, as I mentioned, it's not going to be fantastic. The Silent Stem 4s are going to make it a little bit juicier than it would be otherwise.
Don't suspect we'll see an AWP.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, for now, yeah, it feels like Big Clan are actually looking like certainly the more dominant and intimidating force.
I just question again, because if Big are going to play at this pace and you're on the CT side, right? We talk about protocol utility. You have to molly hot, you have to molly squeaky, right? And then normally you re-smoke squeaky, you keep it re-smoke for as long as you can. Especially with the door being blown off right now. So Big are actually in control of the flow of this game, and I don't know where the resistance is going to come from G2. The individuals need to start stepping up with multi-kills when they come their way, but if it's misdirection and more fakes, they'll be chasing their tail here.
Yeah, Gade looks to be lining up a smoke, or at least considering it. We might see a late wall here. That's one component of it. Big Clan always like to do it their own way. And there it is. Nice diagonal. Amanek is in a position to trifle with them.
This is the problem, though, because, look, you can see the idea. If he wants to go for that fight, that's fine, but there's no flash available for him. What's he meant to do? Peek up dry into all these Ts walking their way? They've already shown they can get down secret, and they're going to do it again. They're chasing their tail right now. 50 seconds left on the clock, and they don't have enough utility to stall this one out to the end. Amanek hoping this molly was enough to buy them time. Heard.
Good adjustment.
Oh,
what is he doing? Oh, they run through. Amanek will take 3. From the grave, the Flames convert the third, and now 2 for Big Clan. Searson with the bomb scooped up. Keto above him. I'm not sure what they can do with this, Chad.
They didn't need to do that either, right? They could have waited out that Molotov there and been able to strike later. They still had the utility in their favor. It will be a save right now, and this is a very slow pace from Big. So it's quite clear that they have a game plan and they're sticking to it, but that one right there was an in-game leader's call. And I love the fact that 2 players followed him through, but for us, everybody watching at home, they look silly, right? But they followed their leader.
Yeah, and the movement was quick, right? Like a lesser player perhaps just throws that molly and tries to throw it a bit too deep. They bunny hop across, perhaps, you know, they catch the timing and suddenly the low sight is theirs. Tabson had some intuition, it just does not pay off, and Amanek looks great. That's a nice bolster to his numbers. 3 on this low defense, and it's been sorely missed. G2 haven't had someone doing this. Great find. Does hold the transfer, and a nice one into Gade's head to get 3 dead. Okay, G2, respond.
Just having a quick look right now at the multi-kill statistics. Jax has 4 multi-kills so far in this game, and everybody else on his team only has 1. Now on the CT side, if you're not getting the opening pick, which it's kind of split down the middle right now between both these teams, it is going to be difficult to operate without a multi-kill from one of your members. Let's see, we're starting to settle into this game, and early on, you're not seeing too many clashes. We get to witness utility damage just like that, but it's not in your face Counter-Strike just yet.
Whole squad's here. Nico, the burden of responsibility for this cross. Oh, quick shooting. Controls his taps into the dome. Tizian's down.
He's all the way back in CT spawn now as well, at the forklift in CT spawn here to help defend the mantle up towards the heaven position. So this is great. Tags heard there. Hunter doing some more damage, shipped on down.
Yeah, he's got the info at least 2. Tags up 1, tracer fire from another direction. He's got that worked out. Oh, Gates could clear Jax here. Oh, good awareness as well from the Frenchman. Leaves Big Clan at a heavy disadvantage. 2 rounds in a row, they've succumbed to an early multi from G2, and oh, there's the 3rd.
Healed apart now.
Yeah. Last 2 have descended, and I suspect there must be someone going to address the potential for this lower site plant. Tabson's got good pace to this, but yet they will just about get into the safe haven. Nexa will not choose to contest, and so some good funds. Oh dear, Searson catching 1 on that vent rotate. They needed that quick, and they have found it. A miss from Searson. That should be enough for G2 to at least piece this one together. And it's Jax with the final bullet of the round. G2 extend their lead.
Okay, well, this one here, obviously not the most fireworks necessarily within the early stage of this game, but at some point, Big's pace will have to change because they've gone for this slow stuff now. G2 have been able to establish a bit of an economy. They got the AWP back out. There's going to be full utility behind it as well. This was the highlight from the earlier round. Yeah, lovely stuff right there from the grave with that one. This was good from Jax on the jiggle. Just catching that in his lower peripheries. And good stuff from everybody really in a round like this from G2. Will have to be a save scenario coming out here going into round number 11 for Big. 4 Deagles, Glock in play, and well, you'd love a plant. It's not even mandatory. They get 2,400 in the next round. They will be able to buy.
Strong arm on Nico, does, ooh, strong shot as well. Takes out Tabson. Though he was stubborn with the Krieg, when he did start playing with it, he did look like a robot, so. Oh, loud about this. Hunter is gonna just strafe in, no issues. Up against the Deegs, the crosshairs were in the right place, but he's just better, and that is gonna be it. Okay, G2. So, I mean, it's been a half of 2 halves so far.
Indeed, and I think that a big component of Big being able to get a few rounds on the board here and keep G2's economy humble early was G2 going for the lobby aggression that didn't pay off. Yeah. So almost they were the ones who were causing their own turmoil. Now that they're just playing a bit more standard, allowing the game to come to them, Big and this pace are tripping over their own shoelaces.
Yeah, well, I mean, people in esports and being their own worst enemy, it's a common trait.
We're good at that, aren't we?
We are.
All right, well, now they know Amanek's AWP is out in play. Searson might want to go for a heads-up fight here. 2 immediately dropping down lower straight away. This is interesting. So wanting to contest this yard play quite heavily here. Will it be both up through secret? Amanek's already peered on out and said, hey, boys, there's nobody home right now. Ramp is completely open during all of this.
The utility damage has been great from T2 as well. These last few rounds, they've started off with good chunks of damage into the T-Force. This time, Keto catches 40. Nico's Krieg is out to play. Eye pressed to the scope. Just procedurally bouncing between the 3 options. And they are coming. Suspect if he keeps this routine up, he'll start finding heads. Ooh, that's enough for him. Spots 3. Drops an incendiary to buy time. Him and Hunter partnered up here. The cousins with Nexa in tow, and good angles from Jax. Solid lockdown. Big come knocking, and Jax knocks them for 6. Get some more. Look at the pace. Searson punished as well. 4 from Jax. Up to 16. He's chosen a perfect time to come alive, and good dink out of Nexa condemns Tabson to a 10 HP clutch. The headshot option was presented short term by Amanek. And he knows he's low. The dink was heard. USPs are out. And okay, there's our 8th. Just when you missed that first, tabseN, no slouch, could very well have got the crosshair in the right place. It is now 8-4. And it has definitely been cooling off for Big Clan over the course of this last 4.
In a big way. Nobody in double digits as far as the frag chance go here either. Next round of play, they will have the max loss bonus coming on out, so they can spend a little bit of extra cash into a round like this. But it's now getting very rough. And I think that Big, before this half ends, 1 more round I think is mandatory. 2 would be brilliant. I don't think they need an 8-7 half to be competitive on their CT side by any means.
Yeah, they're stubborn about Yard here. Gonna have another go. Still deploying smokes as well, but despite being just Deagles behind it.
Oh, they're not going secret. They're going to explode either towards Heaven or into main. Heaven to run down the AWP wouldn't be bad.
Uh-oh. Hunter's got a lot of targets. Still manages to take 3 with him, so no issues there. And yeah, G2 have definitely found the comfortable pace for their defense now.
18 for Jax. Great to see a performance like this. Normally we're talking about Nico popping off, or at least in the last couple of events, the Blast and the EPLs. But yeah, Jax is showing up in a big way here.
Yeah, and he was one of the players when I asked about the difference between LAN and online, who just, I mean, you know when you've eaten your least favorite food and your whole face recoils? As soon as you start talking about online, it was that. I mean, he really does seem to favor that environment. He talked about just being with his boys makes a lot of difference. It is, of course, this unquantifiable, hard to explain, and, you know, it's individual as well.
He's the shining light of the team in terms of personality, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure that the personal element of just having him in the room, there's a big reason that Hunter says he's his favorite teammate.
Another great nade there.
Another one. And Amanek throwing a little aggression into the mix. He's going to sweep through this and call it clear. Trophy is definitely... Oh, a return from Big. Amanek could catch the probing Hut. I think Nex has just dropped a trophy smoke as well. So if they just want to stare at the smoke, or they'll walk straight into Amanek. Gets away with it. No bloodshed just yet.
One problem right here I do see for G2 is not a lot of utility right now, and they're pressuring ramp. So Nexa may even drop that Molotov. It will be their last incendiary here on the CT side. It will hold on to it, so staying strong. 55 seconds now, and map territory, Big are starting to work on it, but they only ever seem to have one piece in their favor.
Oh, they got the info. Yeah, and Amanek will convert it, so the rest is ramp, and Amanek looking great for the AWP. Pairs up the frags, in fact, makes it a triple. 10 for G2, and yeah, Big Clan absent since that round 8. Haven't seen them post a single round, and it is their second timeout. Just looking to end strong, 10-5, not to be sniffed at.
Again, I'd want to circle back. When G2 were giving them the lobby aggression and keeping the economy, well, Big were keeping the economy in a position where G2 weren't able to buy everything they needed, there was so much more pressure. But that's completely changed now. G2 are reading the game quite well. Their CT side rotations are looking good. Their utility damage is on point. It's making things very awkward for Big, and Jax, he's getting fired up there. So this is really changing the tide of this game here. Going to be hard to see Big put up such a strong CT defense.
Finances are wonky here. Best bet looks like Armored Tech 9s for the majority, or they wanted Util on Keto. Wonder what they're going to be up to.
Give us a top rush.
I mean, yeah, we haven't seen one.
Give us some fire.
You're expecting to see it at least for the second half of our first, and it's still our final round. We still haven't had one. Let's see 2 AKs, a MAC-10.
Oh, we're not going to get the top rush. We're going to get the slow pace again. All right, well, the Big have stuck to their game plan. If we're going to go with something here, they've stuck to that at least. And we know it's T-side Nuke, right? In recent times, it's definitely swinging to more of a, I don't want to say a T-bias map, but Ts are able to get, 6-7 rounds pretty comfortably in a lot of games.
Keeping Hut smoked as well, so Keto, could be ahead of that. Nico's gone looking. Spotted out. tabseN all the way from T-Roof has repelled the Nico invasion.
They use their util so early, don't they, G2? Once again, operating with only 2 flashes here and over a minute left on the clock. It's going to be a top pop by the looks of things. Hut Molly forces Hunter away. He's going to use a flash to delay.
It's a great flash, but yeah, still 60 seconds to play.
They go vent drop again, so more of this fakes and ladders.
Oh, a lot of damage, no casualties, at least not for Big Clan. But shot, great one out of Nexa, bomb loose, confirms the suspicions that it is a low site hit. Tabson, how is he flashed? That was a one from Amanek, I think, but on the rotate now, and the bomb is down low site. Tabson for a late ramp flank. Searson with a very loud Hunter to contend with. In the close angle, does certainly keep the Deagle viable. Amanek's joined them, and yeah, misses his first, so now it does fall to Keto and Tabson. We discussed that ramp flank.
Planted back a sight, right?
Yeah, and a smoke to play with. They're actually just diffusing it under their noses. So that's the end of that. 11 for G2. I guess that's how it ends. G2 defuse the bomb on Nuke. And that's going to be 11. We'll take a quick break. Looking set for success here. Big Clan silent for 8 rounds straight. And we'll be right back to see if they could start off with a bang in the second half.
When I'm confident or even when I'm not confident, like you come to a game and I don't really know like what to expect from my team. It's like which G2 will come in today. Like, you know, even for myself, like sometimes I have days when I'm feeling super good, energetic, and I know I can take over a game, and then some days it's just like flat and it's like going up and down. And I think consistency is something that we've been really like working towards and looking to improve. And we have our periods. But just as we have our ups when we are performing really well, we have our downs when we start like crashing and snowballing. So
I wonder if that volatility could be aided by like a sports psychologist at all. Have you considered having help like that?
It's definitely something we've looked into. I think we could have gone into this direction a lot sooner, and a lot of teams have done it, and it's definitely something that helps. I remember before I joined G2, we had a sports psychologist in Crazy for a couple of events, and it actually really helped us out in our mentality. He was actually there, and he was one of the reasons we qualified for the major back then with Crazy. So it's definitely a great thing and a great asset to have, and definitely it'll be something we work on in future.
What earth is that? Chad Burchill with the news.
I don't think I've ever seen a T-side pistol ever before where all 5 members have bought utility.
Big are about to get out-bigged by G2.
Literally every single member on G2 right now has utility with the Glocks. Nobody even has a P250.
We're going to get a full wall smokes.
This is insane. This is insane.
What does this entail?
What is going on? There's so much utility. It's a full execute.
Look what's going on, and there's still more to go. 4 wall smokes, no idea if they've slipped down lower, and then they're going for a top pop, flash out, no one's hurt. Tizian receives 1, but it's Keto as well with the Julies, keeping them busy. Nexa alongside for the ride with Jax, they're just getting ripped apart, and all of that for naught. Nothing better to shred through unarmored Ts than Julies, Chad.
What on earth? I've never seen that before on a T-side pistol.
Me neither. Me neither. There's always one exception. Sometimes I've seen 3, maybe I've even seen 4.
All 5?
But all 5 with nades. I don't know what's Nexus cooked up there or Malek's been in the lab. It's kooky.
What on earth?
It could have thrown the CT through a bit of a loop, you know, when you hear that wall smokes. You suspect one thing, but yeah.
Okay. All
Welcome.
right.
Welcome to the second half, by the way, everyone. We're getting into it. Jita on the T side, and it was a great half from them. 11 rounds on the CT side of Nuke. Par for the course, perhaps, some would argue.
I don't want to say it, right? It's obviously very, very early, but that pistol round relatively clean, and now this again will be relatively clean because it is just the Glocks. I'm going to get ahead of myself.
11-11?
I'm not going to say 11-11, but this is the foundation of a beautiful house that Big can work on right now, right? They've laid the concrete slab, or once they convert this round, they definitely have.
And then it's the big cast iron poles, right?
Yeah,
next?
yeah, well, sure
Iron,
you can.
steel?
It depends on where you're building a house.
Beams, girders.
Girders? We can whack some girders. Now let's do a building. Bigger building, a building. Not a house.
Not much of a construction man, I'll be honest. Oh, they've actually, there's...
No,
I know, but they're across, Chad, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
They're across, which does mean they've pulled some CT rotates. Maybe there's a universe where they can at least get a couple. Get that scout onto... Oh, Searson's missed his shot, you see? Yeah, nade's threatening.
The Julies are nice.
They're really nice, and there is a dunk onto Jax, but a scout has fallen into enemy
I
hands.
can't believe they've gotten a kill.
Yeah, there's something out of that, and in fact, long-range MP9 is perfect for Gade, gets the work done.
A second kill.
There's Scout now finding Scalp, and that's the end of that. All right. Well, it's certainly not spotless.
No.
In the way it could have been.
That's actually decent damage. There was a couple of grenades brought into for a ramp HE push, and then after that, all over the map. So, pivot around the world. The AKs will come out now. 1 Galil in the mix for Nexa. I feel like they have less utility now than they did in the pistol round. I still can't believe that.
Oh, that's something else.
I wasn't sure what I saw. I was like, wait, hold up, is the HUD broken?
Now, there's always something that you've never seen before from G2, not defusing the bomb, 5Ts buying utility. There's always something special, especially on Nuke. And here's Searson getting tested again very early. Some bullets do tag him up. Nico caught a little bit of flack as well. Oof. Wow, very threatening in their smoke sprays. Searson and Tabson kept honest. Pretty much an equivalent exchange until Hunter put his name in the feed and opened up the ramp room. So big gap now in the defense. Lobby taken by Big, as this looks quite reminiscent of our first half, except we didn't see this out of G2 surging further forward. Hunter's now defending ramp room at 1 minute 15.
Power position here as well. He should be good for 1. That flash isn't going to get him. Maybe both kills here for Hunter. The first is good. The spam is better, and 2 kills. Call this round done. 12 now as Gade left in a 1-on-4 situation here.
That's worked out wonderfully.
The crazy thing is, when G2 tried to push Lobby on their CT side, they just died. When Big push, yeah, you get the space, but you lose everything else. So that's not a great way for things to go. And now the ramifications of losing 2 guns to those Glocks, there's a lot less money in the bank balance. Things are going to be rough going forward. The loss bonus only going to be at 1,400. And we can hear the sounds of the van. Now, as you can see there, this is what happened. The terrorists, they were coming to the nuclear power plant. So the way in, they just had to crash a truck into a gate, jump over. I don't know how they get... Oh, wait, they're probably not getting out, are they?
No, they're actually just trying to get back to their van. And Hunter had the keys.
Well, yeah, they left the keys in it.
Oh.
Silly sausages. Okay, well, let's see how long can Big extend play here, because it's up to them whether this is going to be a comeback or not. I think G2 are the ones who are in the driver's seat. They can't buy right. Like, this is the thing. This type of a round, it should be a force buy, right? Normally when this happens, it's a force buy scenario. So if you're Big, they tend to do the economy a little bit differently, just a little bit. Next round of play, Gade's going to be able to drop a rifle, assuming he doesn't lose this one. Tab's going to be able to buy one. Searson might have to go for a scout. Keto and Tizian can operate maybe with something a little bit less. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all shakes on out. But either way, Big won't have the fullest of buys.
2 smokes. Just as their incendiary's cancelled.
That's
Gabe,
nice.
though, that was the only rifle in play, and he's caught Nico's aggression. And not only that, he's confirmed there's nothing more to be concerned about Secret's side. It's Jax who's been the shining light for G2. There's the frag from him. And Gabe's repositioned.
They know he's here. They know he's down.
Okay, he's caught one. A second on the cards. Jax not having any of it. 21. Gabe did a lot with his saved rifle and controlled taps out of Tabson, still threatening with just USPs. If he gets anything more, I am in disbelief. Head on a swivel. Jax has brought the round back into a bit of a standstill for Tizian.
Is that a blue gem?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's have a look at it. Depends how blue it is, Chad. Ooh.
Is it blue enough, Alex?
Is it blue enough to... you know, it's not rain quality.
It's not rain quality blue.
It's not.
Whose AK is that? Let me have a gander. I have the power. I have the power. It is Nico's. It's called Did Blue. That's what he's named it.
Okay.
Or someone named it and gifted it to him.
Yeah, I saw Tabson's flexing the float of his knife as well. He's got like a blue gem or a blue sapphire something or other.
Okay.
But I mean, you know what their game plan, financially wise, it still holds water because of this recovered AK.
Precisely. So at this point, I guess the silence them for as well. I got to keep reminding myself because we didn't see it getting bored a lot. So I wasn't just thinking that the majority of the team was going to be saving themselves so much cash. I have to remind myself of that little point time and time again. So the buys for the CTs don't need as much money as once upon a time. That's a very small margin, right? We're not talking, we're talking about pinching pennies here. We're not talking about, you know, it's a bargain basement buy. Just seems like a mountain to climb. Now, look, we did have a really great comeback in that Sprout game. There was a bit of maybe Vitality getting ahead of themselves there. Some great moments from Sprout. That was a Vertigo match to kick off the day. I thought maybe we'd get a comeback with FaZe on the CT side of Ancient. That one wasn't to be either. The games that on paper look like they're going to be the blockbusters have been a little bit more one-sided. And ouchie mama, Sirison has just been knifed, leaving spawn. That's not the way you want to kick off your gun rounds. They've even been able to get him an AWP.
And not when you're helmetless and there's a MAC-10 in play. Let's see if Amanek can find Sirison in the fray. Oh, limbo between two flames, hanging out on the ladder, feeling vulnerable. Here comes the aforementioned Amanek 10. Traded, at least, pulls the crosshair away, and G2's name frequently in the feed. 2 from heaven, the molly will arrive, and the bomb will too. Oh, Chad, this is bleak for big. And I think we return now, as we see 14 looming, to the conversation about how infrequently we've seen G2's nuke.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? In the last 3 months, obviously we did have the tournament break in the middle there, but they've only played it 3 times. And the last 2 times they played it with losses. Now, one of those losses was to Na'Vi, right? So we'll give them that one.
Yeah,
right? That was
most people are allowed that one.
Yeah, considering the streak that Na'Vi are on Nuke right now. But the more recent was the loss to Force. But I guess G2, they were not themselves during EPL by any means. So maybe that plays into it. Maybe it's not just the map.
Yeah. Asking players what tricks they've tried, like to try and simulate the LAN feeling when they're playing the online games, and I can't remember who was telling me, tried unplugging their peripherals.
Plugging them back in every day.
Unplugging their peripherals when they went to bed, and then starting coming in and plugging in the keyboard.
I'd just be annoyed.
Unwrapping the wires, you know. Maybe pay your friend to stand behind you in like a black referee shirt and just kind of go, hey, sorry, mate, no talking during timeouts. Keep you honest, I don't know. But yeah, G2 definitely looking like they got that LAN buff as well. Everyone, especially the individuals that have had their woes online, are all fragging up a storm here. And let's see what Big it can do with this mismatched buy. Nico looking possessed and swift with this. Look how fast they're across. I mean, Tabson should hear this. They're making no secret about his descent. So some rotation should be on the way. And Keto makes it clear that's been communicated. So lots of information flowing.
That flash isn't going to keep him there. The extinguish on the molly is actually going to help them as well. So Keto thinks better of that, and they continue their little jaunt towards this lower side.
Yeah, the bomb's with them. Have they cleared vents? Yeah, no, just working on towards single. Everyone's favorite wallbang. Very imposing presence from Nico here, and Keto's been spotted out. They have still got presence yards, so Tabson's not going to be able to be too swift about his rotate. Secret's off limits. Searson here, only the scout. And G2 are happy to just chill their beans, cool their jets. That could have and should have been a frag.
Yeah, both tagging each other there, but Amino could take down Tabs, and that was over towards Yard, I do believe. He's getting caught looking for some info. Now they can change tack here. They do not have to go lower anymore. There's still plenty of time for this, and around towards Heaven they go. Bomb coming back up Secret. Looks like it's going to be a top pop.
But look at the damage that's been inflicted now. So vulnerable. Like the FAMAS, the MP9, the Scout, all of them. No longer so much of a disadvantage.
Gonna have to go through a smoke and a molly towards Heaven. 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Looking good for Big here. And this is a compulsory round in their project for this best of one. Competitive group. Two of the hardest hitters of this group head to head, and Tizian should be able to put them to bed. 2 of the 4 found.
Got a plan now.
You need to be planting, but Amanex provided 1. Searson, can you deny?
Oh, he wasn't safe side. He wasn't safe side.
Can't. Just has to survive now. Yeah, all good. Big will make it 7. And just has to cancel the plant as Heaven contact was found. Didn't keep his eye on the clock. Legia has his mic unmuted. Another 30 seconds for the Big Clan coach to get his boys hyped up and back into that driving seat. As we discussed, this was a must-win round. We can see how it did take shape. Tizian does exactly what was needed of him.
That's the kill, right?
That is it, yeah.
Yeah, because Hunter on that is going to plant Heaven's side. If you planted the other side, the problem is you have to worry about hut push, squeaky push, vent, and main. He was going to get it down Heaven's side. That means that he should have been able to have cover, but that one frag right there was enough to deter him, scare him away, and give Big another breath into this matchup. Money, a problem again. Finances obviously discussed within that timeout and just trying to get these weapons bolstered across to the players who need them.
Yeah, incendiary count 3, so we should at least be able to see the potential of that top site denied, or top pop. Amanek back into his MAC-10, that's deliberate, interestingly enough. I mean, there is a distinct absence of helmets. You know what, Chad? We could very well see impact again from that. If he wants to go for his bouncy hut play, as we've seen successful in the previous. Tizian safe on the hut, the molly not quite spread as it should.
That fast one there you normally throw because you want to at least make it feel like you're going to go out squeaky or down the vent, right? But there was no actual follow through. It was just the molly alone. Hasn't deterred that position by any means. And it does feel to me right now that they are just going for a default spread and allowing Nico to pick towards Yard with this Krieg. No aggressions come on through. Big haven't gone for any of those type of wild plays that they were going for yesterday on Mirage. And they're going back to spawn to set up the wall smokes.
Yeah, but there will only be a single member behind them, and that's Nico. He's going to try and sell this on his own. Complete denial of information for Searson, and no one can confirm the numbers. Utility exchange, light now for Big Clan. They don't have much more to react when G2 start their commit, but I am getting a bit aware of the clock. As this smoke and molly fade, it is time. G2 start their commit. Here comes Amanek. Gobbles up the flash and some lead. Tizian doing a lot here. Bomb confirmed lobby, 20 seconds. He's still got another frag 3 on that M4. Desperate for a fresh mag. Finds a safe haven to get it. We need that bomb. Yeah, it's done. Next on the plate does have 10 seconds. He'd need to clear that backside player or just save it up. And that's the option he goes for. So Nexa and Nico just hit pause. Don't want to be dying. Oh, holy moly.
That was close. That was very close right there. Nice upgrade for Gade there on the way out the door. But okay, that's convincing from Big right there. It was a slow approach. It's interesting to see that both of these teams are going for very, very slow approaches on their T side. Just happy to wait out any early aggression, wait out all that CT utility, and then hoping that they're able to pounce and get things done. But not to be the case again for G2. We'll have to wait another round here. Money's good. They can buy, no dramas in that department, and still no T-side at AWP. I think, yeah, it makes sense to let Nico just be your force towards Yard with the Krieg. You need to worry about that T-side up. You don't have a Searson of your own to ply out there. Faster this time round, so a nice pace change here. Going to be able to scamper up behind that red box.
Oh, wow, Hunter. Shot up first by Tizian, still gets the frag.
This is perfect. They're all going to get across behind these secret smokes.
He's locked out the rotate.
Exactly.
What are you supposed to do?
They have to go from ramp right now, and the only player over there who can go is Keto. He's starting to make his way down now, but the advantage right here is for G2.
Yeah, and Keto has just kind of stopped in his tracks. Now they're established. They will drop their util to deny, and Searson with his scout, the only one that can really voice any concerns. Here's some counter util. They can close the gaps here a little bit.
They're gonna push in.
They are. Advancing. Nico's got the perfect
3 of them.
weapon. Wow. Multiple targets. Absolute chaos. It's a massacre. And at the end, as the dust does settle, it's Gade up against 2. That was pandemonium for a moment. Look at the bodies littered over this B-bomb site. Now, we will have time to see Nexa get this one down. Gade opting for a full reposition, interestingly enough.
Oh, now this one gets difficult. With the bombs down, the 40-second timer has started. He has a full belt of utility on his back pocket. But how do you get back into this round? They could have repositioned to absolutely anywhere now. I guess the best thing you're hoping for is they think you're saving. And then maybe they lose a little bit of focus on their crosshair. Otherwise, Gade, you've got 20 seconds now, mate. Good luck.
And I don't know if you're pre-aiming this spot. He's low. Adjustment. Oof, damn. 1 bullet connects. Hunter lives on, and G2 secure the 15th, secure the bag. Big Clan, yeah, they're going to have to defend their honor with deep Kevlar. Maybe some peppermints. I don't see there's 3 CTs there for Jax, and he gets 2 of them. Looking set for success now. G2 within touching distance of taking down one of the more threatening teams in their group. I mean, we've only really seen them play 1 game, right? So it's against Aura.
Yeah, they owned them.
It was a quick bash.
Nice warm-up game.
Yeah, so this is our second indicator that G2 are online on land.
Maybe they were, yes, it does very much so. Maybe they were sandbagging when the other tournaments. They're like, we just want to qualify for the major, nothing else matters.
In the air.
It's a good meme. I'm sure the social media team over there at G2 can run with that. How did Aura go in there? Oh, Aura against Copenhagen Flames, 16-14.
Oof.
Yeah, they lost it.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, but still, I like what we're seeing from the young Swedes.
Oh, Searson absolutely caught out. Nice one from Tabson's Deeg, but yeah, the bodies are dropping. Numbers continue to favor them. This is the last of the rifles. This one's just going to peter out into nothingness. Solid conversion. Keto's Deagle did start this game off with a bang, and it's Jax that will post his 27th to seal it. Lovely stuff and convincing stuff. G2 have lost 8 rounds so far in pursuit in this RMR of the major. Solid high fives and head shakes all round. Big Clan down a peg, and we're going to head to a quick break before we break it down over at the Analyst.